Welcome to the little willow. We are going to start today by doing fringe. Now I've done this hair piece, and I don't know if you can see it, and I sewed down the back part of this hair piece, and now we're just going to put fringe around it. When we're going to go underneath the strings to put the fringe on, and I will show you how to put the fringe on. We're going to be doing a a lace fringe. That's what I'm going to call it because it's fringe that I created. So we're going to be doing a lace fringe, and we're going to start with a regular fringe, and we're going to put on top of that. There will be 3 different rows. Okay, let's get started. You will need your size 11 beads, and I have 2 different colors of size 11s. You could do 3 different colors of size 11s, but I'm going to do 2 different colors of size 11s and a small 2mm pearl. So this is what we're going to do. This is going to be the 3rd row, so we don't need this one. This is going to be the 2nd row, so we don't need this one. We will be starting the 1st row with this purple. And you will need a size D beading thread, a good pair of scissors, and you will need some size 12 needles. You could use whatever needle is going to fit into the holes of your beads. It doesn't have to be this brand. And we will get started. Okay, I don't think I missed anything, but just in case. You will need to thread your needle. Make sure you double your thread and tie. Well, let's retie this because we don't want a big old knot like this. So we will do a small 1 knot. Okay, just 1. Make sure it's tight. And then you're going to trim it as close as you can to the point of the knot, not on the knot itself. Okay. Now you're going to find a starting point. And it doesn't matter where you start, you can start. Wherever you want to start, you're going to end up. So we go underneath that thread, and we pull the needle through. And when you get to this part, you're going to put the needle through this loop. And you're going to just loop it around that thread. Okay. Just like that. Okay, you're going to start off with 3 beads. And you're going to go underneath the next thread. Oops, be careful not to poke yourself. And you're going to come up through the bottom of the bead, and you're basically, I would say this is like a half brick stitch. I don't know. But this is just a regular trim. Now you're going to just put 2 beads on for the remainder all the way around. And you're going to go underneath that thread, and you're going to go up through the bottom with your needle underneath that bead. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there like that. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. Underneath, up through the bottom of that first bead or last bead, however you want to. 2 more, and you just keep going all the way around. This is a standard trim. This is what most people put on their beadwork, and we're just going to keep going all the way around. just like that. Up through the bottom. I don't know if you can see it very well. Up through the bottom of the bead. Pull your thread up. Okay, so I'll put one more on and then we'll be back. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to go all the way around and I'll meet you back. Okay, we're back and we're almost done with this row of trim. We only have one bead to add. So you have in between these beads, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll use this as a pointer. So you have one space left right here, and you have these two beads. To create that thing, you're just going to add one bead and go down through this end bead right here. So that's how you end your row. And we're going to go down through that end bead. There you go. Your row is ended. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to this next bead over here and go up through this next bead, the next door neighbor, or you could go through this next door neighbor. It doesn't matter. Either or. You can go this one or this one, but you're basically going through one of these. And you're going to pull it. And then you're going to go through your top bead to start your second row. Now, we don't need the purple. This was for the first row, so we'll put this aside. And we will go to your second row beads, the color that you chose for your second row. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. So the second row, we're basically just going to put 5 beads on. You're just going to do 5 beads every single time, all the way around your piece. But you're going to skip a bead. So you have these beads on top are the beads that you're going to be going through. Your string is coming out of this one, and you're going to skip this one and go to your next one. So you're going to skip this bead, go to your next one, pull 5 beads through, and there you go. And you're going to keep doing that all the way around. Skip this bead, go to your next one. Put 5 more on. 5 of your 11 O's on. Skip this bead right here. You can see it. And go to this one. Go to this top bead. These colors are blending, sorry folks. Skip this top bead and go to your next top bead, and that's all you're doing. You're going to do this all the way around the piece. And you're just going to keep going all the way around the piece. And they should look like kind of like mini triangles. Okay, and when you are done, we'll meet you back. Okay guys, I did run into something and I wanted to show it to you really quick. So my string is getting quite short, and I'll show you how to tie it off and add a new string. So I'm going to put my 5 beads on, and like before, we're skipping this bead and going to the next. I don't know if you can see it or not. And we're going to go down through this bead, this end bead right here, the bead closest to the fabric or the leather. And we're going to go through that. And then we're going to try to go out the back side of it. Try to pull your needle to the back side of your piece. Okay, so it's right there. And then you're going to just go ahead and tie a knot. try to tie it the best you can. I double my knot, and then I'm just going to go through underneath that fabric, or that leather. Actually, this is leather. And we're going to go through that leather, and then we're just going to pull it out to hide that knot. And that's how we do that. Now we will add a new thread. And so happens I already have one threaded. Yay! Okay, so go ahead and thread yourself a new thread, and like before, trim your thread up to the point of the knot, but not anywhere near the knot, just to the point of the knot. And we will start again, and we're going to go through the back side of your piece so it's not noticeable. Now when you start a new one, you're going to be going through this bead right here. So you notice that this is where this one connected, but we're starting from the bottom row, and then we're going to go through that bead. Oops. Sorry, guys. Okay. And then we're going to go through that top bead right there, the top purple one. I don't know. I mean, these colors are blending, so I'm sorry about that. Let's see if I can get my needle underneath it so you can see it. Okay. So there we go. So you see that you're going through the top of that bead right there to restart your oh, it's catching on everything, isn't it? Okay. To restart your thread. Okay, so it should come out this end bead right there. Okay, and now you can start your row again. And we just add 5. Skip this bead, go to the next bead. And now you've started your next row. Okay, and we will continue, and then we will show you when we get back. Okay, we're back. And we are finishing up this row. Now I did end up with an on stitch, so if that happens, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You will just add an extra bead. So we're going to go through this one. Skip a bead, go through there, put your 5 on, just like normal. Now we have 2 beads here to jump over instead of just the 1. And so that's the anomaly I was talking about. So sometimes, and that's why I start from the bottom and work around, because sometimes you'll end up with that one anomaly. So if you want to do your stitches and count them all the way around as you're doing them, that is fine. I don't always have time to do that. So instead of putting 5 on, I'm going to put 6 beads on, and we're going to jump over all 2 of those. We're going to go through the top bead, and I know it's hard to see here, and I'm probably going to do another tutorial with red, white, and blue beads so you can see how to do this better. But we will finish this, and then you're going to, you went through your top bead. I don't know if you can see it. Your top bead right here, and then you're just going to go up through these beads, and you're going to go through, whoops, 2, 3, you're going to go through 4 of these beads. Okay, oops, and you'll have a bead on the end. Okay, and so you're going to leave that bead, and you're going to go through these top 3 now, every top 3 beads. So you're going to switch your beads, and you're going to go to your 3rd row, and we're going to start the 3rd row, and I'm going to go to my pearls now. And you can use a regular size 11 bead if you like. And these are a little bit more difficult to see where the hole is. I don't know. So put your 2mm pearl on there, and you're going to go through these top 3 beads out of your 5. And you're going to go all the way around just like that, and you're going to put your pearl on. Or your 11O bead, or you can use a size 8 bead or a size 6 maybe. Sometimes even with the pearls it can get tight, so you're just going through your top 3 beads just like that, because you want to leave just that little bit of space. And this is what I call the lace trim. I've been doing lace trim for a very long time. Probably about 35 years maybe. I don't know. Okay, and we're just going to keep going through those top 3 beads. Now I realize that it's going to be hard for you to see this one, but we're going to be doing this one. We're going to finish this one, and then I will do another piece just for fringe, just for one area of fringe and not the round where you have to connect. We will just do a regular piece of fringe so you can see how it's done, and that way you can see the needle and where it's going and everything like that. This is I did not think about silver lined beads are very hard to see, so especially with a silver needle. Sorry guys. And we're just going to keep going all the way around. Go through those top beads, those 3 top beads right there. And just keep going through. And you're not going through this bead, you're just coming out that I don't know, that end bead right there. I guess it'd be like, you know, your 5 beads, and then your top 3 are the ones that you're going through and coming out of. Oops, if I can see the good. Anyways, one more bead, and then we will be back when I get to this point. All right, we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and we have gotten all the way around the piece with the pearls, and now we're getting to the end. And remember, I had to skip over those 2 beads, so you're going to have not 3 to go through on the top, but 4. So whoops, and we will put a pearl on, and we will go through these top 4 instead, because we had to add an extra bead. There we go. Go through the top of those 3. I don't know if you can see that. And you're just connecting the 2. And then you're going to go down. Going to go down through that bead. And you're going to go through that top purple bead from the first row. Sorry. And then you're going to go down from that top bead to the very bottom. And if it's hard to get your string through, then you can use a pair of beading pliers if you like. Okay, and I'm just going to pull my needle to the other side of my piece. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm just going to go through there and pull it to the other side of the piece. And like before, I'm just going to tie a knot. Okay, and I'm going to go between the layers of the leather and the fabric to hide that stitch. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. And you can use your pliers. Now, you don't need pliers, but I use them, and you can use whatever pliers you want as long as it doesn't cut your needle. I didn't mention that, I'm sorry, at the beginning. And so you're just gonna pull your piece through there and you're done. I'm going to do 2 tutorials in one because these beads were quite shiny, and I really want you to see exactly how it is done 2 ways. So the first way was a round and oval. The second way is just going to be a straight line on a regular piece of felt board, so you can see how to do it in a straight line if you want to put it on some kind of a scarf or garment. I'll be back. Okay, we're gonna start the second lace trim, but we're gonna do this one in a straight line. And I just have a piece of felt board here. This is just for your education here. So I have a orangey red, light blue, and white. So I think what we'll do is we will start with the light blue. Okay, and we will just do your bottom row first, and then we'll do a red row, and then we'll finish it off with the white. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just going to do the same thing we did last time, but we don't have a thread to go underneath, so we're just making our own loop here, and you're going to put your needle through the loop. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay. Go. Okay, now I didn't trim this end, so I'm going to go ahead and trim the end of the knot. Up to the point of the knot is where you want to trim the end. So we did loop it around, and we're going to put our first 3 beads on, and we're going to space it about, let's see, get a ruler. We're going to space it about 1 millimeter, okay, apart, about there. You want to space it about that far apart. And we're going to go up through the end bead, and we have our first 3 beads on. Okay, and this is kind of like a sort of like a brick stitch, really, but with an added bead. So then we're just going to put 2 beads on all the way down, and we're going to space it like we did before, about 1 millimeter apart. And if you want to mark it, you can with a pencil. We're going to go up through that bottom bead, and we're just going to keep going all the way down this row. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah. to make sure my camera's in the right place. Okay, and we are just going all the way down the row. Because you're basically looping it around this piece. And you're going underneath that bead, the bottom bead. Underneath, oops, just that one bottom bead. And we just keep going all the way down. Now I'm going to stay on here with you, and if you need to fast forward to get to the next point, go ahead. I just don't feel like turning the camera on and off all the time. Okay. I'm probably not going to do this whole thing. I might trim some of this off because I really think this is probably about enough right there. So we're just going to do a small piece so you can see how to do it. If you're just, wanting to put it on a scarf or whatever it is you're wanting to put it on. If you want to put it on clothing, I would look for a different thread. Something that will be okay with wash, if you're going to wash and dry. Okay. Sometimes fishing line is pretty good. There is all kinds of different threads out there. Fire line, fishing line, just regular cotton. But if you are going to do a regular cotton, it will wear. Okay, so we're at the end here. And we're just going to do our 2 last beads at the very end. Probably at that corner right there. And we're going to go up through these 2 instead. And we're going to go and start your row this way now. So we're going to go to the next color. We're going to go to red. And we're going to put 5 on. Okay, we've got 5 beads on. Okay, so now you're going to skip this bead and go to the next bead, just like before. Okay, so this might be easier for you to see, hopefully. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's easier for you to see. The other beads were very hard to see. I apologize for that. Silver lined is a very shiny bead. So you're going to skip this bead and you're going to go to your next bead. Okay. Now, if you have smaller beads, you'll probably need to use more than just 5. And depending about how spaced your bottom row is, so we have it to where it's 1 millimeter, okay? But if it's smaller, then you use smaller beads, and that's fine. But if it's bigger and you're using smaller beads, then you'll need to add more beads. And I would, okay, so how many beads I got on here? 5. There we go. That's all we want, 5. Okay. my goodness. Hard to get. There we go. 5. Skip a bead, go to your next bead. And we are going to continue with that. If I can get my beads on here. Skip a bead. Skip that bead, go to your next bead. And we're just going to keep doing that. I don't know if you can see that. Sometimes it will curl up. It's okay. But so far, that's what it looks like. And you can keep going. It might be, you know, some beads might be a little different. Some manufacturers of beads do it in a different way. Okay, so like before, I was showing you if you have an anomaly in your thing, you could put 6 instead. You don't have to. You could just make sure that your stitches are like, let's see, 1, 2. So make sure you have even number of stitches. We have 17 here, and so you'd probably want 18 stitches on here instead of just 17. So what I'm going to do is, because this is just to show you how it works out, is I'm going to cut that end off so it's an even row. And we'll just go down through this bottom bead. And then we'll go down into the fabric itself. Because if you're doing it this way, then you're going to go down into the fabric itself. And you're going to go back up through that bead. Okay, and then you're just going to go through the top bead, and you're going to go through 3 or the 4 red beads. And you're going to leave 1 bead on the bottom of each side, 1 red bead. Now we're to our next row, and we're going to go to our white beads. Okay, and your white beads are, you're just going to put 1 white bead on. Now these ones, I didn't have the right size, so it's okay if you go up a size, just like with the pearls. Because it's going to have a little space in there anyways. And if you have smaller beads you want to put, you might want to put 2 small beads instead of, like, if you're using a size 15 bead, put 2 15s, or 1 size 11, or 1 size, this is a size 10. You can also use a size 8. So as your bead number goes lower, it gets bigger. The bead gets bigger. Unless it's, I don't know, it's different. Okay, so then we're going to go through the top 3 beads. So we have our white bead on, and we're going to go through the top 3 beads of the next one. And so there you are. And it's coming out this top 3rd bead. We're leaving that red one, and we're doing it again. Okay, and we're going to go through the top 3 beads. Okay, just like that, your top 3 beads. So this is basically 3 rows. The bottom row is blue, the second row is red, and the very top row is white. And this is what I call a lace trim. You're just going through those top 3 beads. Okay. And this is a tiny tutorial. This is just so if you want to do a scarf or something like that, or just on the bottom of a piece. So you're not going around the whole piece like with the hair piece that I was doing. I'm going around it. You're either going in a circle or an oval, and that's what I was showing you, is the oval and how to connect the oval. This is just a straight line, and you know, this is the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down through all those beads, and you're just going to tie a knot. You don't have to tie a double knot or anything like that. And you're going to go back through your piece. Okay, and you can tie another knot on the other side, or the side that doesn't get noticed, and trim it. And there you have it. There's the piece. Now if you want to pop these out with a little something, there we go. Here's the trim. Lace trim. On this one, we did an oval, and on this one, we just did a straight line. Just so you could see it better, because I didn't realize with the silver line. Sorry, guys. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.